All right, kids, Monday, pre-show, Rants of Izzo here on Spreely Media. It's up, Spreely.com. Everything is up and running. If you haven't checked it out yet, Spreely.com. You want a social media platform that you can say whatever the fuck you want? Spreely.com. End of story. You want all the podcasts and the shows up, Spreely.com. You want to learn how to make money by just sharing out show links? Spreely.com. It's all there. We're live in less than 2 minutes. If you're watching on other platforms, whatever. You suck. Going live. What's going on? All right, kids, 25 seconds, Spreely Media. Welcome, Monday. All that good jazz. Let's go. Oh, my God, I almost did that stupid, let's go. Like, where are we going? Fucking dumb. It means I only had 1 cup of coffee this morning.
Let's go.
Yeah, I know. I hate that shit. I hate people who do that. It's just dumb.
Sit down, shut up, and pay attention.
Damn!
This is the Rants of Izzo Show with your host, Dominick Izzo. From porn to politics. We touch every third rail we can find. You might want to put your headphones on so your mom can't hear this. It's been called the most entertaining 60 minutes on the internet, and it starts now. Let's do this.
All right, fine, let's do this. Rants of Izzo show here at rantsofizzo.com and Spreely.com. I could finally fucking say that. Spreely.com. It's been a long time in the making, and corporate in the background has been pulling the proper strings necessary to bring you the platform you need. So if you're looking for all things free speech, I know everyone's like, we have a free speech network. You get like red pill this or red your sister's ass or whatever. Spreely's been around, let's see, when did I first become a part? 2017, end of 2017. So it's been established for a while. And for those who remember Liberty One TV, that's when we started on this. It's the same company. Spreely.com. They got a website, news, social media platform that is akin to Facebook, I would say. You can say whatever the hell you want. No censorship on there. Podcasts, the list of shows. So if you want to know what shows are next, like The Dumb Show, Donor Friendly Show, Burn Pit Podcast, Report and Opine, Austin Peterson and Wake Up America, Shannon Joy, they're all listed at Spreely.com. You hit that hamburger, that's that 3 bars at the top of the menu. Scroll down, it's going to take you everywhere. And if you want to make money with the show, all you have to do is go to Spreely.com, and it walks you through the steps about how you can share all the links and whatnot and actually make money from Spreely. So Spreely.com, we're up and running, and it's great. The Sky Corbin is sitting with me today. It's thetruth.Sky Corbin, right?
Heck yeah.
Yeah, it's about, man, it's good to see you again. Had you on a couple months ago. Loved it on, and I keep, there's so many awesome people that I keep wanting to have back on, and you're obviously one of them. But I posted something the other day, and shit, what did you say? You're like, oh, I want to talk about this. Oh, is it?
Yeah, you were talking about, you had a good point about McMahon. If he just comes out and say, yeah, that happened because the girl's a freak, then most women and men would probably just agree and believe McMahon if he were to say those things, because no one ever does that.
So for those who do not know what we're talking about, Vince McMahon, former head of, because he stepped down, of the WWE, World Wrestling Entertainment, has stepped down after there's a lawsuit by a willing participant, a female, who exposed 8 of his sex messages to her, all this stuff. He's 78 years old, all this stuff. And everybody is capitalizing off of this, especially males, which is sickening. You see all these former WWE people who are now finding a chance to make themselves more relevant again by saying, oh, Vince is a scumbag, and you can go on any platform and people are attacking him left and right. What you talk about, I actually did. I ran for office in 2018. I ran for sheriff out here in Cook County, Illinois, at Chicago. And where I realized I did not have to defend myself was because of the foundation I always laid, meaning I run for office, and I always put my dirt out there. I always have.
Yeah, your skeletons are in your front yard.
Right. And my mother was like, why are you saying what? I don't understand why you were always putting your business out there. And years later, it came to fruition why I did it. Somebody sat there and posted this post on me saying, no way should Izzo be sheriff. He's a self-admitted womanizer, sexist. He was in the swinging lifestyle, all this stuff. And right as I went to comment, like to defend myself, several people jumped on there and said, yeah, he's talked about this for years. This is nothing new. Right. We don't know why. It completely took the fire out of this.
You have no vulnerability. There's no place to twist the dagger if you're just open with yourself. You pulled the Eminem at the end of 8 Mile where he just raps about himself and leaves the guy with nothing.
When you saw this, tactic. Are you kind of tired of this attack on men and bullshit? When you saw this, what was your first thought?
Yeah, my thought is this double standard has to stop between men and women. And I'll give you some examples. And whether you agree morally that men or women should do it isn't the point. The point is there's a double standard that, do you remember the movie Showgirls with that girl from Saved by the Bell that came out?
Oh, yeah. What was her name? Yeah, she played Jessie, right?
Elizabeth something.
Right.
That movie bombed. No one went to see it. The reason why is because men are ashamed to go see it, period. They don't want to do that. They'll do it in private because they know there's a feeling of like, something's weird about this. I got a wife at home. I don't want to go see this Showgirls movie where women are getting naked on the big screen. Now you reverse the roles. There's 3 magic mics and women go celebrate at theater and praise it. That is a huge double standard when they got husbands at home and they're celebrating with all their girlfriends and watching men strip. That's a huge double standard. They're proud of it when men are ashamed of it. I'll give you another example. 50 Shades of Grey is no different than 1997 Cinemax that men would sneak off to and watch at night in softcore porn. But they would be ashamed to go do it. But 50 Shades of Grey come out and the women all get their friends together and go see it and praise it and think it's super cute. It's either wrong or it isn't, but it can't be both. That's my problem. You can't have a double standard where everyone's allowed to be sexually promiscuous except for men. Gay men can. Women can. But who can't? Men, if they do, they're scumbags. There is a huge double standard. Let's say there's a man and his wife dress provocatively. All the women will attack the man and say, why are you letting your woman dress like this? Yet if the man was to say, hey, don't dress like that, they'll say, man, why are you controlling your woman? It's a lose-lose scenario for men in every regard sexually, and it's been that way since probably 2012 when things turned. There used to be huge movies like American Pie, everybody remembers these, where it's just like, let's be promiscuous in the man wave, and those movies would skyrocket up the ratings, right? Now they do it the other way, and now you only show naked men. You can't show naked women. If you do, you're some sort of creep, and so we don't make those movies anymore. And if you do show a naked woman, she has to be fat. The tables have just twisted so much to where, well, you're objectifying women. Well, a hot woman is wearing the exact same thing as that fat bitch. So how is that objectifying if she's hot versus when she isn't? it's a complete double standard, and people have to wake up to this psychosis.
God, there's so much there's so many directions you go from there, because you do have the no longer it's fat shaming, it's body positivity, which is, I mean, come on, dude. I'm fat. I'm 5'7", I stepped on the scale today, 235.7. I've got a very big midsection, man boobs, all this shit. I'm thick, but I'm fat, and I'm like, you know, I got a dad bod. I'm not a dad, and I would like to be visually sexually attractive for you know, my significant other, and it's kind of like
who doesn't though? That's
well, I don't go around going, hey, you know, body positivity. When I was a kid, we had a gym, and the gym, the hottest woman who was in the gym, I still remember her name. Her name was Thadine, and she was like at the beginning of the female fitness era. It was like 93, 94. This woman was just unbelievably hot, tan, augmented chest, all this shit, and she had a deal. It was like a verbal contract with her boyfriend, who was the GM of the gym, which is if either one of them goes over like 10 pounds, that's grounds for the other one breaking up with them. And a lot of people thought it was shallow, but they were professional in their pride and appearance. You can't do that today. You can't say that. No, because
you can't. I actually think that's actually a healthy relationship to me. I think that's because you're not putting in the work for yourself. You're putting in the work for the other person. That's the opposite of unhealthy. That's a healthy relationship because it's reciprocal. But yeah, I'll give you another example of the double standard between the sexualization of men and women. There's a tour going on of stripper men that go from city to city called the Thunder Down Under, and they strip on stage and women will pack the house.
Oh, they fucking love it.
And if women did that and went on a tour and a strip show, no men would show up because they'd be ashamed to do it because they've been demonized for so long for doing it, and women are praised when they do it. That is a huge double standard, and it needs to stop.
You also have, we're on this day and age too now where I don't mind. I have several friends who are either like the former adult film stars from like the Vivid years or
right.
and God, that took a swing. You had the Vivid girls back in the 90s, and then all of a sudden when like anybody and their mother could have a shaky handy cam and be a porn star. Now with OnlyFans, everybody out there is doing it, and I don't care. You know, I don't judge anybody else. It's like I like adult content, but now we're massively sexualizing women and this empowerment where you have, this is what I think it's boiled down to.
But then you demonize men for liking it.
100%.
At the same time, you're empowering women to do it.
Well, there's only two kinds of people who are demonizing it. Number one, it's the insecure housewife or significant other who let herself go. Her husband or boyfriend doesn't find her attractive anymore. She's getting pissed that he's watching porn or looking at something else. Or it's the effeminate male who thinks that the only way to get the women on his side is to be all like, you're just shaming women and you're such a pig. Oh, you have to have alpha in your bio. Those are the only two people who are demonizing it. Because as you said,
at the same time, that housewife will go see Magic Mike 1, 2, and 3.
Because her husband isn't giving her attention because she's not putting in the effort to make sure he gives her the attention. Oh, we're going to get a lot of angry calls. All your angry calls can go to thetruth.skycorbin on Instagram, thetruth.skycorbin.
See, here's my argument. I don't care what people's morals are. I don't get involved in people's relationships because I think people's relationships are their relationships. My issue is when it doesn't make sense, when there's a double standard, when men say women can't compete with men in the market and then also say they can't do OnlyFans. Well, you just told them they can't compete with men in the market. What other option do they have? The only thing that they overpower men is the sexuality of their body. So if you say that's their only option, but you can't use it, that's a double standard. Don't do that. Say you can't compete with men in the market. As conservative men, we're stronger. We work harder, and we pick the jobs that make more money. But at the same time, you can't do the thing that you're more powerful in, which is sexualizing your body. And I don't understand the attack on OnlyFans when there's 7,000 other porn sites that don't ask for ID, that don't ban people when they harass women, that just objectify women horribly worse. This money actually goes to the person. It's consensual, and there's ID involved, which means they're not underage.
Oh yeah,
If I was going to attack any of them, it would not be that one. I would save that one for last.
Yeah, my favorite argument is all the women who say porn isn't real. It's not real. No woman wants that stuff. And I'm like, I know plenty of women who enjoy some of the kink that's on there. And for that standard, I think you're just an insecure woman who just probably is having a midlife crisis and maybe needs to, I don't know, get laid and a little bit more often and enjoy it.
I'm not a porn guy. I'm really not. I think it does desensitize men towards their own women. I do think that psychologically. So I'm not much of a porn guy, but I'm also very much a freedom guy. And if it's within the bounds of law and not child, and there's some sort of capitalism involved, and you want to sell your body that way that isn't sexual, like that isn't physically sexual, and it's all consensual, it's hard for me to say that you can't as a freedom guy when we allow so much other crap that I disagree with. Just because I disagree with it doesn't mean you can't do it. I don't think people should smoke cigarettes, but yet people do. So I can't be the arbiter of all things moral for people. I can disagree with it and say I won't do it, but that's a majority of most things in life. Like I don't think it's I'm not an alcoholic. Some people are and think it's perfectly fine. So I can't be the arbiter of all things moral and say you can and cannot do this, especially if it's a double standard and you only attack one side of it. If you attack both sides of it, I'm on your side. Yeah. If you attack both sides of it the other way, I'm on your side. But it can't be one or the other.
Women have had women have had a massive double standard in the last, I don't know, God, how many years? What it was the six rule, 6 figures, 6 inches, and 6 feet. You're what? You're 6'3"?
Yeah.
Yeah, you and me in the same room together. It doesn't matter how much money we make. Women will look at you before they look at me. I'm 5'7", you're 6'3". There's that double standard. Mm-hmm. But if I look at a woman who's 120 pounds and go, yes, versus the one who's 220 pounds, I'm the fucking pig.
You're absolutely right. How dare you, sir? Yeah, how dare you look at the one that's more attractive to you?
Oh, it's going to be a long damn Monday, and I'm fine with that. So, well, we always like to come up with solutions to problems on the show. We've had this, right? We've had the double standard outrage for quite a while. Tawana Brawley, which was back in the 80s, the Duke lacrosse team, Dr. Christine Blasey Ford. Now it's Vince McMahon. Personally, I think it's like everything else. It's just a distraction. Something's happening behind the scenes we don't know about. Here's a 80-year-old billionaire who it's like, hey, Vince, I wonder if he knew about this, right? Hey, Vince, we need you as a distraction. You've lived your life. You're good. You're a billionaire. Your family's set. We're going to throw you under the rug with these text messages you had. I don't know what the out is or the change, because just the other day there was a woman on social media who was exposed for claiming a guy hit her in the face with a brick after she denied giving him his phone number. She went online. She had a fucking football-sized knot in the side of her head, was crying about it. I don't understand this. A man hit me in the face. And then, of course, the comment section lit up with all men are pigs, men are evil, how dare, blah, blah. And somebody had recognized this and said, no, this is the same woman who collected X amount of thousands of dollars before a couple of years ago doing the same thing. To my knowledge, I think she was charged, but nothing, I don't see accountability for women at all. If this WWE woman was massively, and I read the text messages, massively engaged in consensual, sexual, promiscuous acts, and then goes back to sue, and a lot of people are saying it's because he signed a non-disclosure, signed for $3 million, only gave her $1 million. Why are judges not saying, no, we are not pursuing this? Clearly, you were engaged in consensual acts. Why are women not, out of all we bitched about in the first 15 minutes, why are women not held accountable?
For one, the text message thing doesn't even make any sense. If someone sends me one text message and I don't like it, I have the ability to block them and never receive another one. So it's just like, it has to be consensual if it's happening more than one time, because you don't have to have them text you. You can literally not have them text you and bring it out then. Hey, stop texting me. I'm going to tell everybody now. I'm going to block you if it doesn't stop. which proves that she didn't do that and it was consensual. It's a pretty simple fix. I don't think anything should be done with harassment over text messages or online, because you can literally eliminate them from your life with one click. So if you have that ability to do so, then you are responsible for being talked to. It's you don't have to talk to them. You just don't have to.
It's so dumb. It's damned if you do, damned if you don't. I saw some other post earlier today. It was a personal trainer. It was just a gym post, and it was the title was like, "What happens when you send your personal trainer nudes?" And it was a personal trainer sitting like in between sets. He's working out and he's looking at his phone, and apparently he's looking at a photo we can't see, and he goes and he starts speaking into the phone, going, "Yeah, we can work on your hamstrings. It'll lift your glutes. Yeah, we can to make your thick midsection look a little bit narrow. We can widen your back and your shoulders. Overall, good physique though." So he's showing that it's personal trainer, doesn't give a shit. The comments. And I'm sure a lot of them were in jest, were from women saying, "Well, that's the fastest way never to get me a nude from me again," or "How I would block him so fast." And there were just tons of comments. And I'm thinking, dude, it's damned if you do and damned if you don't, right? Oh, I want to be taken seriously.
Damned if you do, damned if you don't. Well, it absolutely is. Women can do whatever they want sexually, and it's empowerment. Men can do it, and it's toxic. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, I don't see any of this ending in sight anytime soon, unless men start stepping up and saying, "No, I'm done." I wish Vince McMahon would have said, "I'd like to call a press conference."
Yes.
Yeah, we fucked her 7 ways from Sunday for about a year. Me and everybody alleged in the suit, we did. Mr. McMahon, did you defecate on her chest? 100%. And then why didn't you let her shower afterwards? She didn't want to shower. I would expose the shit out of her like crazy. What's the answer for men? Is it that we have our iPhones record our sexual exploits 24/7? I don't know what we do.
To prove its consent all the time and the video and say, "Hey, we're about to do some things. Do you approve?" And then save the video. I mean, is that the extent that men have to go to now?
I don't know, but I'm going to tell you flat out, when it comes down, the easy solution, when you really think about it, the easy solution for most men is, why would I bother for this when there is porn available, when there are prostitutes available? Why would I deal with a woman who's going to be like X, Y, and Z bitching about stuff, or a consensual night out with her leads to sex, and then the next morning, because she feels guilty over this, she's going to go and have me arrested, or even worse, the passive aggressive. There's websites. Somebody sent me a picture of me screenshot onto a Northwest Chicago suburb website for women. And apparently the website is called, the Facebook page is called something like, "Are We Dating the Same Man?" And thousands.
I think I've heard of that.
And then there's a ton of them in different areas. So, and this led, it was amazing. I attacked Sean Whalen for being a fucking cunt. That's my opinion. That's not Corbin's. End of story. And one of his female supporters went at me in the comment section. And I'm like, listen, just because you support him, great. When we went back and forth about this issue on him, the next day, somebody sent me a screenshot. That same woman blasted my photo up in on that "Are We Dating the Same Woman" page, or same guy page, and listed, "Anybody know who this man is? He's a sexist. He's this, he's that." And I went, the fuck has this have anything to do with the argument? So I think the easiest thing to do is, since we're not going to be able to hold women accountable for this, I think there needs to be a general consensus, and it needs to be truth. Women are fucking crazy. And they're just hypocrites, and they need to accept that. That's my ultimate sexist, misogynist position.
Well, it's an obvious thing that women know this too. Women used to not be as provocative as men. That's a true statement. Now they are more provocative than men, because men have to be forced to be ashamed of it when women get celebrated to do it. And when that happens in society, there is no fear for women to be sexual. They'll message people and say sexual things, and so will men, but then men will get called out for it and be timid to do it ever again. A woman will never be called out for it. And so when that trend happens in society, all it's going to do is manifest exponentially across the board because women can literally go see stripper movies and not be ashamed. Men will always be ashamed because they've been scared to do so. It's just a double standard. It's either wrong or it's either right, but it can't be both. That's my issue.
You're not going to have that. I think I'm trying to type in to see if there's any responsibility or anything. Here's woman. This is from The Guardian back in 2023. A woman, excuse me, who lied about grooming gang. Who lied about a grooming gang, guilty of perverting course of justice. 22-year-old woman from Barrow in Finesse. Oh, this is overseas, not in America. Found guilty of perverting the course of injustice by telling a malevolent lies about being trafficked by an Asian grooming gang and making false rape allegations against a series of white men. Eleanor Williams, known as Ellie, sparked a worldwide solidarity movement. That's what they do, right?
I know. You'll never hear that in reverse. Men saying there's a solidarity movement against women objectifying men, and every HBO, every Showtime channel network, every movie that comes out just shows penis every scene. You're not going to say, hey, you're objectifying us. Let's have a solidarity movement worldwide. Men won't do that because if we do, we look weak.
Oh, and it blows me away. I've seen this all the way back before I was a cop. I was in the bar industry, and we used to see all the time. God, I'm a counterpuncher. I will not throw the first punch, but I think it's fair game. Right. If a woman insults me and she's overweight, fucking, I'm going after the fat pig comment. And there was nothing. It used to happen all the time. I was an ass. So if some woman would, and it always was, it was always, if a woman didn't like the way I made a drink or wasn't fast enough or something, she would always go to the height comment. And then I would go to, well, you're overweight. And it didn't matter. It didn't matter if she had 50 women who hated her in the bar. The second you attack a woman, all of them are like piranhas when you throw a fucking cow in the river. They all attack you together. How could you say that? It's like they're instant best friends when they have zoned in, hive mind, laser locked on the one man who's sexist. I think there's something wrong with them.
Let me show you this. 9 out of 10 people in general, no matter if they're men or women, 9 out of 10 people, if they saw a man yelling at a woman publicly and the woman is crying, they're going to assume the man is wrong and the woman is right. Now, in my opinion, if a woman is crying, that means she's actually hurt because she probably did something wrong because they're emotional towards themselves when they actually hurt someone. If she wasn't wrong, she'd just be yelling back. If the man is yelling, that means something probably hurt him logically. So why is 9 out of 10 people automatically assuming the woman is right and the man is wrong when the man is yelling and the woman is crying, when logic says it would be technically the other way around? And women know this and men know this. If men are yelling, they're probably upset by something that really hurt them. And if the woman is crying, that means he's probably right because she's upset that she hurt him.
Yeah, I think you wasted your breath on that one because you used the word logic a couple times.
Oh, yeah, my bad.
Yeah, that's kind of wrong on that one. Mm-hmm. This is from the law office of Matthew D. Sharp, talks about the reasons that intentionally false reporting of rape allegations and sexual assault are there. And some of the reasons are revenge, monetary gain, to create an alibi, to express regret, to generate sympathy, to draw attention, to express anger, to deny consensual sexual encounters, mental instability, to gain leverage in a custody or divorce proceeding. Oh, God. Oh, that one's fucking, yeah. We give women permission to not articulate their issues. So to surmise kind of what you were saying is women have full permission to accuse men of something, and that's just how she expresses her anger. That's being a fucking toddler. That's what that is.
Well, yeah, because for one, I mean, this is psychology. This isn't me saying this. This is 50, 60 years of psychology saying that women have to show aggression somehow because they don't show it physically. Men do so they can get it out physically. So women use it in destroying people's character. That's how they get out their aggression. If they don't like somebody, they can't go beat them up. So what do? They destroy their character publicly. And that can be with allegations. That's just psychology. That isn't all women. But if women don't have a physical way to manifest aggression, how else are they going to do it? Just by not being aggressive?
Yeah, I'm glad we had you on. I'm enjoying when somebody else has the exact same position as I do. Holy shit, we got to take a break. That first 30 minutes flew. Hang on. Holy crap,
You're
man.
good.
Prepare yourself.
The opinions of the host and guests on this show are exclusively just that, opinions. That means that they shouldn't be the cause of your state of being offended. Why does everybody get so butthurt?
Okay, let's go. Ready, go!
Kids, this is the Rants of Izzo show here on Spreely Media. We got it up and running. Spreely.com. It's a one-stop shop for everything you need. You need news articles? Spreely.com. Podcasts? Spreely.com. Vids? Spreely.com. Video shows, videocasts like this one, Spreely.com. You want to get paid? And you're like, man, I watched the show, I share the link. These motherfuckers do nothing for me in return. Spreely.com. You can sign up for an ad rev account there and go ahead and get paid to share the link. Make sure you check out all the things at Spreely. There's a social media platform there. You getting tired of your censorship? Let's see. I got an Instagram ding yesterday for asking somebody if he sleeps with his sister, and that's why his hillbilly ramblings are so incoherent. And they said your comment goes against community service. Well, we don't do that at Spreely. End of story. At Spreely.com, I typed up how 100% the election was rigged. AOC should be blowing people for tips back behind the bar dumpster she worked at. And Joe Biden is a doddering old pedophile that clearly is insane. Spreely.com. The Sky Corbin, would you please promote everything you're doing where everyone can follow you and support you?
Of course, the main platform is Instagram, and it is thetruth.skycorbin. I do a lot of skits. I do a lot of cultural commentary. And then I'm about to start back on YouTube. I had to take a break because I was moving and I had to reset up the studio, but I'm about to start back on YouTube. But those are my main platforms, YouTube and Instagram.
We need to get you to gravitate over to Spreely.com.
I'll do it.
We need to have a big name like you on there. Guys, also make sure you are following the show Monday through Friday live. I'll heads up, no show tomorrow. I'm being a good nephew and taking my aunt and uncle, two aunts and an uncle, to their eye doctor appointment, dentist appointment, and a physical checkup. They're like, can you do it? I'm like, why the hell not? So I'm being a good nephew tomorrow and playing taxi cab for that. So no show tomorrow. We'll do a replay, and maybe we'll rerun the Vince McMahon stuff on that one. All right. So bottom line, I kind of want to talk about some other topics too as well. But the sick thing is, I don't mind this because we can talk about this shit all day long, all fucking day long.
For one, people have to start talking about it because it's not that I'm for men to be sexual towards women. I'm sick of men not being able to and being harassed for it when women get to do it freely and it be accepted. That's my problem. I don't care if you say it's inappropriate both ways or appropriate both ways. That's not my argument. I just think it's asinine and stupid that women can do it and men can't. That's the problem.
You have a considerable social media following. How many women slide in your DMs? And when you don't give them attention, how many are pissed off at how, I don't know if you ever had the making up stories because you didn't give them attention.
No, I don't have that. I have really good followers. I have great followers, and 70% of my following are women. I only have 30% men, but 70% are women. I'd met my girlfriend now. She was a follower of mine on there. And so we started talking and we hit it off and we're dating now. But I don't get hit up by women. I do, like, they have no issue saying you're handsome, you're cute. I'm happily married, but I want to tell you you're a handsome man. I don't, that happens a lot. But my response is always just thank you. Every single time, just thank you. Appreciate it.
I'm worse than you. I'm like, thank you. Send nudes.
Yeah, right. I know the repercussions of being a conservative man, and the instant downfall if those things happen for the most part. But I did meet the girlfriend I have right now on my social media platform, and it's great. So,
I got to ask, how tall is she?
She's hot. So.
Oh my God, I've seen pictures of her. Yes, she is. How tall is she? I got to ask that one.
She's 5'4".
Oh my God.
5'3", 5'4".
Dude,
yeah.
you're a foot taller than her. That's insane.
Yeah,
Holy
she's
cow.
not quite 5'4".
All right. We got to talk about some current event 2024 stuff. The election. You are into political commentary. You are very fair, very balanced when you do stuff. I like to think. I want to think. You have more of a libertarian mindset. You are. You're
for the most part, I think freedom only goes so far. I think when it affects society negatively, there has to be someone step in. I don't think, it's the same thing. Like, I'm free to do heroin. No, you're not. Not when it starts affecting people in the streets and spreading across America. You lose that freedom. It's the same thing in the trans argument. I'm allowed to be a woman. Yeah, misery loves company. When you start telling everybody else to be trans with you, when you start coaxing kids to say, I'm lonely, you be lonely too, come join me, that's where people have to put a stop to it. But, I'm freedom to an extent, because that's how society works. You have to fall in the bounds of society. Boundaries are freedom. So,
our country, 2024 in November, are we going to make it to an election? Or what do you have any predictions, thoughts, or are you? I'll ask if you're one of these people. I'm less and less. The more I think for me, this is me personally. With this primary season before it came up to it, I was so turned off by the conservatives playing just as shitty with each other as they were attacking liberals the years prior. Watching the Trump camp and the MAGA camp attack DeSantis, and then DeSantis people just, I went, fuck, I'm out of this shit. I don't want any part of this stuff at all.
Yeah, they become the thing they hate, and that's one of my biggest pet peeves of the conservative party. It's like they do that consistently. The conservative party becomes the thing they're against all the time, because if you can do it, then I can do it. And then, now you are the thing that you didn't like.
Are we gonna have a 2024 election, or are we all gonna implode? What do you think is going to happen?
I used to think we weren't. Towards the beginning, I thought there was going to be some sort of war breakout to for them to use some powers to hold off the election. However, the more I see the charades of this election cycle in the primary, the more they're pushing. Both sides are pushing for Trump, the left and the right. It's no disguise. They're not trying to make Trump not elected. They're trying to get Trump elected. They love the division. They love this country divided, and who's the most divisive or divisive, whichever way you say it, candidate in the game, and that's Trump. He's more divisive than anybody on the left. So that's what they want for the country. And if you deny that, you're crazy, because if you look at the polls before the indictments against Trump, DeSantis was leading. And then after all the indictments, they're after me, they're not after you, and the left keeps on going after. You think the left is stupid enough to think, oh, we're not running his campaign by putting indictment after him and raising his popularity? It's just coincidence the seventh time we do it. They're not that stupid. Come on, people. The left is running Trump's campaign. They want him to be president. They don't not want him to be president. Otherwise, they wouldn't do what they're doing.
What do you think their end game is?
More division. I think just divide the country over and over and over again, and say you create these polar opposites, and they can't create an enemy out of someone else, because they'll be like, oh, they're just doing it again to someone else. But if Trump is elected president, they keep the same Hitler they've always wanted. That's what they want. And so it boosts their ratings. It boosts the media. We get to demonize white people. We get to demonize MAGA. We get to demonize half the country and create polar opposites. And it's just, that's the way they want the country. So I don't see how that's not just an obvious thing. Like, I don't understand how people can't see that. The left has never wanted unity. They want division. And who's the most
I said that.
Candidate?
I said that at the beginning of last year. I'm like, I don't know if I want Trump, because sadly he is incredibly divisive. And the issue is that if he gets reelected, what the Trump derangement syndrome that we saw last time, it's going to be on like a nuclear level. These people are going to be absolutely insane. But then there goes my question, because I don't have the foresight to see it that directly. what's the damn end game? Because you got all this division. We're all at each other's throats. I said this on with my co-host. Oh God, it's not Kyla, it's Kayla on Friday. The AI is a perfect weapon to create a video that Trump said something, and then put like a small post that nobody sees. Oh, that was really AI, and the damage will be done because you'll have MAGA defending it like crazy, and then you'll have the left. Trump could say the only way to.
It doesn't matter if it's true or even proven
right.
true or false. I mean, we know that
we're the weapons.
He said stuff that he never said.
Right, we are the weapons,
people still believe it.
But I just don't understand what the point is. I mean, is it like to eradicate human beings? Because there are all these stories. They're going to give you cricket meat. The water's polluted. All right, so ultimately, when you kill us all off, then what? Because I don't understand. Maybe I'm not big enough to understand it. Are they trying to? I had said this too last night. We were all at dinner, and Chicago has so many historic businesses that are gone. We had this. It's called the Viagra Triangle, and there used to be it was Rush Street, and that's where you went. Like the Spaccones would go. So guys who are like me, the Italians and wannabe Italians, in their silver sharkskin jackets, go out with their gumads that are 20 years younger than them. You go to Jilly's, you go to Tavern on Rush. All those restaurants are gone. They're gone. And they were like Chicago staples, and it was because of the pandemic. So my thought was shit. How do we not know that this pandemic wasn't a massive hoax to close businesses down, to sell those businesses now for pennies on the dollar to other people who are making insane profits off, and now you're going to completely like regentrify Chicago to whatever else. How are they not doing that to the rest of the world? Maybe meaning that they're creating division to just, I don't know, eradicate the state of Texas. We're just going to get everybody blue and red out of there, and then we're going to sell it to the fucking Chinese. I don't know what the goal is for all this, and I don't think I'm smart enough to figure that out.
I have some foresight into it. I think, once again, it all relates to if you keep a lot of division, you can do so much under the surface because you're focused on everything else. And what I mean by under the surface is you have a group of people that are very power envy. They have this need for power. And the reason they have the need for power is because they don't believe in an almighty, all-powerful God. So if there is no almighty, powerful God to them, the next best thing to them would be their own power. And the less people that can fight against your power, the more powerful you are. So you put these things in place to boost your own self-power. And there's no other reasoning other than the need for power. Now, I don't have that need because I actually do believe in an almighty. So therefore, my power isn't even my power at all. And if I have an all-powerful God, then the people that crave power can't be it. I'm God-fearing, I'm not man-fearing. So if they eliminate the manifestation of God in people, which they also tried to do that, which they have successfully over the past 3 years, far less people are religious than they used to be, then they bow down to them, not an almighty, because the people become the almighty to them, the massive leaders of this world who want that power. And that is the ultimate need and desire, but they can't accomplish these goals without lots of distraction on top of the surface. And so I don't think they want this peace and unity in America. I think they want this great division, which is Trump. And so they can keep going under the surface and doing all these things to obtain more power. Now, people ask me all the time, you should tell people not to buy electric cars. Don't buy electric cars. Tell people. And I'm like, I can't tell people not to buy electric cars. They're like, but it's their plan. It's their plan to shut people. But then I am them because they're telling me not to buy gas-powered cars. They're telling me not to. I can't turn around and say to them, don't buy electric. That's not freedom. If people want to buy it and if people want to be prisoners, they are allowed to be prisoners. I can't say you're not allowed to subserve someone. You are allowed to make that decision yourself. I won't, but you can. Yeah. And so we all know that there's this underlying theme of control, and that control can only be there because they want it. That's the answer. If they're trying to apply control, the only answer is because they want control. Why do they want control? Just because they want it. It's that simple. It's not anything on top of that. It's they want it, and it's their goal to have it. It's pretty simple, actually.
Your argument is, I agree with it 100%, especially with the higher power, because that, in my opinion, that's the cornerstone of the abortion, body autonomy, and trans movement. It's not about choosing. It's not about choosing your gender. It's about, hey, I have complete control over me. It's like, yeah, I get it, right? I was born a certain height, certain hair color, certain eye color. I was created perfectly, according to my creator. All right, he threw me together like this. Great. If I go to change that, drastically cut off my penis and my gender and all this kind of stuff, now I'm saying that he didn't know better. And all of a sudden
he's weaker than you. Then you are the Almighty.
Yeah. That's and that's satanic. That when people keep going this crap, but they're like, oh, it's satanic. They're missing the point of what it is. It's literally it's Satan saying, no, you don't need God. You are your own God. And we have so much of that, and I think that social media has a really profound effect in that too. Because what does social media do? It created a platform for every single one of us to look at me, how important I am. There's no community anymore. It's all about how important I am. So I think your argument is 100% correct.
Yeah,
it is correct.
I don't think it has to go much farther than the fact. Well, why do they want control? And the answer is because they want it. I think that's.
Dude, what else is there, right? If you are like Zuckerberg or Bezos or anybody else, and you have all that money, Bill Gates, there's only so many cars, yachts, hookers you can buy before you're like, I am really bored. I am really bored, dude. What do you want to do next? Let's control people like they're Sims. Oh, yeah, let's do that. I agree with that 100%. And it's almost fun. It would have to be fun to do it in like a practical joke, Andy Kaufman way, where you don't know it's being done and the powers that be are so dismissive, because there's no fun when it's, I'm not a parent, but if like I tell my kid to do something, my mother used to do this shit. My mother had two methods. The first method was the direct, you're going to fucking do it this way. The second thing is she would like Mr. Miyagi us and like manipulate us into doing what she wanted. And then you'd see the shit-eating grin on her face. I'm like, looking back on that, and I'm like, oh, bitch, that was pleasure for you. Maybe it was fun manipulation, but that's what it is, right? They manipulate people to do what they want while they're sitting back. That's their entertainment. We swayed the market today. We swayed on a country today. We swayed this. I 100% think that those I don't even think they're big brains. They're smart enough to capitalize off of our stupid inability for impulse control over emotions. And they're loving every second of it.
Yeah, a mass formation psychosis makes it easier for them. People just fall in line, and you see a line, you get in a line. My mom used to work at, she used to take pictures of Santa Claus for Christmas, and all day there would be no line, right? And the Santa's just sitting there ready to be taking pictures. Parents with kids would just walk past, no line whatsoever. They could instantly go up there right then and take a picture with Santa. But as soon as one person gets in line, all those same parents that passed 4, 5, 6 times in the mall would start getting in line, and then a line is formed for miles, and people just get in it. See a line, get in a line. Well, why didn't you just do it when there was no line? Because that's just the way we are.
Yeah, people are afraid. That's the other thing too about social media that kills me is how many people talk about being leaders, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then you see if they react, if their social media was gone tomorrow, would they react that way? I don't think they would.
No, I agree.
I think we have this far big God complex or look at me complex with social media influencers to where I keep talking about the people on the right. We need our side to win. Well, when our side wins, who's the one you're going to follow? The person with 5 million subscribers, 2 million subscribers, 250 million subscribers, 1,000 subscribers. So it blows me away how I don't think any of these people, if you took away the camera on their phone, I don't think they would be people who would be the I'm an alpha influencer that you think there. I think the number is very small.
I went to a big festival with a bunch of influencers, and the one thing I noticed that I didn't like, everybody was great. I loved everybody. Everybody's on the same page for the most part, but I sit back and I watch. And I watched the fact that it didn't matter what people said on their social media platform. It was someone with lower followers trying to meet someone with more followers. And that was a consistent trend. It was nobody with more followers trying to meet the guy with lesser followers. It had nothing to do with the content of what people said or the truths they spoke. It was a lower follower count trying to meet a higher follower count. Let's get a picture together, but it never went the other way.
That's what they are. Ashley, my former co-host, and I, we were pitched by somebody who was throwing an event. This was last year. Early in the year, they wanted to throw a September event with all the patriotic influencers. And Ashley and I both had the opinion that, no, we don't do that kind of stuff because, like, both of us used to do public speaking events. And I stopped doing any kind of rallies or whatnot when you see that people, they harumph in the crowd, and then 2 days later, they forget about what they were there for in the first place. I'm like, this is a waste of time. But this person specifically said exactly, like we had asked, well, what are you throwing the rally for? What are we supporting? And he's flat out said, no, it's a meet and greet for influencers to go ahead and network. And we went, what? And they said, yeah, you can go meet so-and-so, and he named off a big name, take a photograph with them, put it up online, this, that. I'm like, that doesn't do anything. I don't, how does that benefit me by taking a photo with so-and-so? And I don't get, what is this? None of it. And again, there are a few people that I follow have very significant followings who are down to earth. You could DM them. Yeah, one of my favorites was she was in the network marketing business, was Jessie Lee Ward, and she was. I love to say that I could call her number and talk to her, and she'd answer the phone. When the fact was, is she would answer anybody who called her, and that's how brilliant of a fucking woman that was. She was just one of a kind. And there are a few others. But you never see, or at least I don't see this, you never see anybody sharing smaller content stuff. And this is why Ashley and I stopped having influencers on and all this crap, because we'd say, hey, come on, promote the show, this, that. No, you never got that in the back. So, yeah, I can't stand this influencer crap. And I wonder what happens with the EMP hits.
I don't think it's them doing it intentionally. I don't think they're bad people for doing it. I think they're victims of what the society has caused. I think they do it subconsciously. I think it's like this is they don't stop to think for a second. Is it really the following, or is it what I'm saying? Because for one, you are no better than your following. As soon as you screw up, you have no following, and then you're done. So you are no better than the ones that follow you, and you owe everything to them. That's why I respond to every message. I will never not respond to every message. I will not respond to reels. If people send me reels, I just ignore them.
Right.
But if people actually write me a sentence, I will always respond, because I only exist because of them on the social media platforms. That's it. It's not me, it's them. Because once again, people seek out the people with a higher following. So the only reason people seek me out is because of the people following me. It's not because of me, but also the reason people follow me is because of the words that I said. So it's a give and take relationship that people have to pay attention to and just stop and think for a second.
Yeah, you're the furthest thing from arrogant.
Victims of society.
Yeah, you've got a considerable account, and you've got the furthest thing from arrogant. We got a couple minutes left. I want to introduce you to somebody. Hang on a second. I'm going to share a screen with you. I have got to introduce you to this guy. This is, where the hell is my button? This is my favorite beta cuck that you need to follow. This is the Robbie Harvey. He's got 411,000 followers on
wow.
Oh, he's got over 3 million on TikTok. You need to know this man. I'm going to play this for you.
What toxic men have said about intimacy to their partner. It's mine. I paid for it with that ring. I thought you were awake enough. I know what I did was wrong, but you nodded yes. He did this while I was sleeping. You're my toy, and I will treat you as one. It's not about what you want. You belong to me. Don't cry now. You're doing so good. Stop complaining. It won't take that long. When you tell me no, makes me feel rejected and unloved. No matter what you say, it's gonna happen. So you better get used to it.
This fucking chode. I did a real response to him. It's the Robbie Harvey, and I had a woman on TikTok flat out say, no, his MO is he puts stuff up like this. You'll get thousands of females in the comments. Oh, so-and-so did that to me. So-and-so did it. And that's his funnel.
Of course.
That's his fucking funnel.
Of course.
Yep.
Yeah, it is. But for one, he's lumping in a lot of things together to make all of them bad. It's like when people do that manipulation tactic where they go, it's like saying Hitler, Stalin, something, and then Mao, Trump. Just because you throw someone in something with a mix of other bad things doesn't make all of them bad. It's a manipulation tactic, and he just did it there, but nobody notices. He'll throw in some things that aren't wrong that some people could say, like, you're mine. Yeah, that's what a relationship is. They're mine. That's not a negative thing. That's a positive thing. In a spiritual relationship between God and you, he is yours, you are his. That's how it works. He is definitely, like, you are definitely his, correct? That we have no argument in that in a relationship. But when it's in a relationship with a couple, how dare you say you're mine? No, I think you're both each other's. That's
but he could, everything he said, you can make appropriate. How do you know there's not couples out there going, hey, you're my toy tonight, busting balls back behind the scenes? We don't know what this shit is.
It really depends on context.
Right.
It truly depends on context.
Right.
But the fact of ownership, I mean, do you own your dog? Yeah. Is it a being? It's not. Is it your property, your dog? Yeah. What's the difference between your wife? It's literally, if you look up the definition of property, it's a thing you own.
100%.
And people are things. So I like, if my girlfriend says she owns me, I'm like, yes, you do. Absolutely true. And if I say I own her, she's like, absolutely true. You do. Of course, that's what a relationship is. We're not anyone else's. That is the definition of ownership.
The truth Sky Corbin. You want some truth, go there. Yeah, you need to follow him, the Robbie Harvey. He is disturbingly just fucking. He's that male that will vilify other men so that other women will cry on his shoulder, and then every tactic that he's blaming men to do, he will do on them.
It's also worse than that. He's the man that will demonize men so women will cry on his shoulder but not ever actually look at him or respect him or want him.
Oh, he thinks they do.
Man.
Oh, they think they do. He's got hundreds and hundreds of thousands of followers on Instagram and millions on Twitter, perpetuating this faux female empowerment of let's vilify all fucking men. And the comment sections are ridiculous. You can get lost in it.
As he's a man himself. Yeah, right.
Well, yeah, that's sad. All right, the truth, Sky Corbin. Talk about any plans you got coming up. We got about a minute left here. Plug everything. What are you doing? What are you working on? You're talking about YouTube. What's going on with that?
I'm working on some YouTube stuff, getting back rolling on that. And I've got some other things that I can't talk about, but they are coming soon. We're going to be on some shows coming up.
Good. And we need you on more often than just once every 2, 3, 4 months.
Let's do it.
Yeah. I'm glad you reached out for that, because that Vince McMahon story, it's like you could stretch it out for a fucking month. It was just.
Well, I just thought you were right. If someone says the truth like that, women and men will both go, you know what? I believe him now.
Mm-hmm. It absolutely blows me away. Absolutely blows me away. All right. So the solution, ladies, is it's okay to be whores for your man. Videotape everything. Just videotape everything. That's Monday. We're not going to be here tomorrow. I'll be back Wednesday. Who the hell do I have on Wednesday with me? Hang on. Maddie Wack is joining Wednesday again from the Burn Pit podcast. And then Lola is joining on Thursday. And we got Kayla again on Friday. So it's going to be another good week here. I think Lola wants to talk about one of her favorite conspiracy theories. I don't remember what the hell it was, but she's just going on a fucking rabbit hole and a half. All right, go to Instagram, Sky Corbin. Make sure you like and follow, subscribe. Do not slide in his DMs and be an asshole. You could do that in mine because I don't mind at all. Go to Spreely.com. That's Spreely.com for everything now. The show, archived shows, on-demand shows, live shows, past podcasts, affiliate programs to wind up sharing links and making money off of it, a social media platform that you can you can say whatever the hell you want. That's Spreely.com. Have a great damn day. See you guys on Wednesday. Go help somebody today. And if you can't help them, remember, just don't fucking hurt them. It's as simple as that. See you guys tomorrow for more, Wednesday, for more of the Rants of Izzo show here on Spreely Media.